I'm happy that I can help everyone out here to know a little bit more about EU Business School. But first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Shanice Francis. I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager for EU Business School. I'm an alumni that graduated from the Geneva campus in Switzerland, and I've been working with EU now for close to I would say for 8 years now. And we've been associated with Join In Campus for a really long time. I know today I'm talking to the partners of Join In Campus, so I will be happy to answer any questions. Please keep putting your questions into the chat box, into the Q&A section. I will keep answering them as I go, but it's nice to have an interactive session. I think all of you all have access to your mics as well, so if you want to unmute yourselves, pause me and ask me a question, that's also fine. Today, we'll be concentrating specifically on the Munich campus in Germany because I think Germany as a country has a lot of potential. And it's better for you to know one product in one campus. And then, we can focus on the Barcelona and the Geneva campus as well. If you all have questions about Barcelona and Geneva, I'm happy to answer them at the end of the session as well. Okay, so let's get started. EU Business School, I think the crust of it is that we started off in 1973, so we've actually completed 51 years in the education industry this year itself in 2024. And we've had, we've expanded, we've grown, but we've had our major campuses based out of Barcelona in Spain, Geneva in Switzerland, and the Munich campus in Germany. We also have had an online and digital presence for the last 15 years, where we've had a digital campus as well. But our main campus, physical campuses, are based out of 3 Schengen countries. The good part is that all these 3 cities are powerful in their respective countries, and all of them are not only part of the EU, but are also part of the Schengen treaty as well. The campuses are not very far apart from each other since they're all located in the Schengen. So Munich is actually in the southwest region of Germany. A lot of private institutions that you would have dealt with or you're dealing with are actually based out of Berlin or Frankfurt. We, on the other hand, are based out of Munich. And Munich as a city has a lot of advantages and a lot of selling points as well, which I will take you through in a minute. But we also have the Geneva campus in Switzerland. Switzerland has a country, obviously shares a border with Germany, Austria, Italy, and France. So we have the Geneva campus, which shares a border with France, so we're in the French-speaking part of Switzerland. And then we also have the Barcelona campus with the most moderate weather, not cold winters, of course, very hot summers, definitely a party city for a lot of students as well. So again, as I rightly mentioned, if there are any questions at the end of the session, please do let me know. I hope you can see me and hear me most importantly, and see the presentation as well. Okay, so we're going to focus a little bit about the Munich campus because a lot of students have a lot of, students are getting smarter by the day. Of course, there's AI, there's Google. So everything's at the tap for, button or click of a finger to get information about a particular city. And obviously, students see negatives more than positives. And the one thing students come up to me and say is that Munich is an expensive city. That's what we've heard. So my rebuttal to that question would be, yes, it is an expensive city, but you need to look at the brighter side of things. And you need to look a little bit more into the future and say, are you willing to spend less on the living expenses and then get a low pay grade, or spend a little higher on the living expenses during your study time and get a much higher pay package at the end of the day? So that's when we bring about the comparison between cities like Munich and Berlin. Munich is a slightly expensive city, specifically when it comes to the rent. Of course, commodities, when you're talking about groceries, is a lot cheaper is basically the same across Berlin and Munich. But of course, when you're talking about the rental expenses, then it's a little bit more in Munich. But that also means that Munich as a city definitely has a higher pay package on a monthly basis as compared to Berlin as a city. Another part of that is that when you look at when you look at the rental and you look at the pay package, the gross average pay salary, and the inflation, like Berlin's going through an inflation and people in Berlin are really feeling it. So even if Munich goes through that inflation, which is about 1%, it's not that bad because people in Munich are anyways earning a higher salary so that inflation doesn't really pinch them. So that's the brighter side of being in Munich. Munich also has a very good economy. It's been termed as the Silicon Valley of Germany, particularly because 78% of the total German GDP is contributed through the city of Munich. Very low unemployment rate again. Unemployment rate is at about 4.5%. Berlin is at about 8.8 to 9.5%. Really diverse city. It's the second city in Germany with the most foreign population at this point in time. Even though it looks like a boring city, it isn't. No, don't let the architecture fool you. Munich as a city was not very affected by the World War, because of which it's maintained that old city charm. But at the same time, the economy is really rising. Any company that wants to open up their firm or their factory really chooses Munich. So Apple opened up its chip manufacturing firm for the MI chips in 2021. We have Amazon's biggest logistics facility based out of the outskirts of Munich itself. Flixbus, which is actually now expanded into Bangalore in India. It's a medium-sized company, a German company for bus transportation across the Schengen zones. That's not Schengen, but Europe in general. That's also located out of Munich as well. Allianz, Siemens, BMW, all of these companies are located out of Munich. Any international, sort of concept that's happening, they chose Munich as a city. The famous Oktoberfest happens right opposite our campus. So from a campus location, we're located very centrally. We're located about 15 minutes away from the city center, which is Marienplatz. And in terms of the location, we are located right opposite the ground where the Oktoberfest happens. We're very closely located via the U-Bahn system, the tram, the bus system as well. So that's what you're really looking at. And of course, the famous Christmas markets as well. A lot of companies situated in the vicinity of Allianz, you have Siemens, you have HP, and you also have, I think we have, the Allianz Stadium as well, that is very closely located to our campus as well. From a safety perspective, we have our accommodation about 15 minutes away from the campus. Accommodation is difficult to find, but students do find it quite quickly in Munich, especially if they try. Their budget cannot be super low as well. But yes, if they have a decent enough budget, it's very easy to find accommodation. And once they go on campus, they can definitely start looking at cheaper accommodation. So I always tell students the budget for the first semester is going to be slightly higher as compared to the other semesters. And I'll talk to you about ways that students can deal with budgeting as well. But of course, as we all know, Munich has to have, or Germany has to have, the blocked count of 11,900 euros, out of which 900 euros is withdrawn on a monthly basis. I'm sorry, I just need 2 minutes to be back with you. I just have something urgently to take care of. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm
That's
really
okay,
sorry about
Shanice.
this.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sorry about that. So yeah, so EU Business School has an institution. One thing is very important to understand, especially because we're based out of Germany, is that our major degrees are provided by the University of UCAM, which is a Spanish accredited degree, which is approved and verified by the Bavarian Ministry of Education in Germany. So basically, there are certain consulates or embassies through which students can apply through without the APS as well. So let's say, for example, the Mumbai consulate is accepting applications and has visa appointments without the APS. And students actually with the Mumbai Council cannot apply with the APS for us. They only have to go through the non-APS route. Same with the Delhi Embassy. So students have to go through the non-APS routes at the Delhi Embassy. They cannot apply with the APS at the VFS in New Delhi. For Bangalore and Hyderabad, they are still accepting applications with the APS. So students can either go the APS route or the non-APS route. I hope that's clear. If you all have any questions, please again put that into the chat box. But yes, our degrees are accredited from the University of UCAM, a Spanish accredited degree, which is verified by the Bavarian Ministry of Education. Of course, there is the opportunity for students to transfer between campuses as well. Students starting in the Munich campus can, of course, transfer to the Barcelona campus or vice versa, and also look at Geneva as an option. One thing to bear in mind that is that the Barcelona and the Munich campus operate on the same tuition fee structure, whereas Geneva is slightly higher. So I'll get the tuition fee structures as well. The Geneva, the Munich campus is actually located on the ground from the first floor of this building, where we have about 16 to 18 different classrooms, along with all the departments, starting off with the career service department, accounting, academic, and admissions department as well. So moving on, we also have the careers department, as I mentioned. So there are two things that I would like to mention about the careers department and their involvement in students' lives. So when students are on campus, it's very important that they reach out to the career service department. Their first priority in the first 2 weeks of joining campus should be to reach out to the career service department, understand what the job market like is in Munich, and this for the career service department to understand the student's profile as well, prep them for job interviews, review their cover letters and CVs is very important. So they build that connection so that the career service department really, if they have an internship that they think a student will be fit for, they will be able to help. Sorry, did somebody have a question? Yeah, so they will be able to help based on the student's profile. Another thing that EU Business School has, which other institutions don't have, is we have a lot of connections. Our networking power is really great. So we do have internships and job offers that are limited for EU Business School students. There are certain companies that reach out to us because of the alumni that we've had working at companies. They like the alumni's, I would say, the way they conduct themselves, the way they work, because of which they come back to EU Business School asking for more students. So there is a certain portion of internships and full-time jobs that is reserved for EU Business School students as well. So the moment you connect, students connect with the career service department, and there is a job that pops up that the career service department sees fit for a student, it really helps, for the career service department to know a student. We always say the career service department has always told us German is not a must, but it's a strong plus. So it's good to have German on the CV of the student. That's I think another question that keeps popping up with students these days. But with German, of course, we do provide an A1 and A2 German language course on campus if students are keen on learning German as well, and they've not already started off with their German. The student permit also allows students to work 960 hours in terms of their part-time work limit. So students can work approximately about 20 hours during the week if they're working part-time during their studies, and during the summer holiday, they can go to 40 hours per week. You're looking at an average pay of about 10 to 14 euros per hour. So anywhere between that. In fact, just about 10 minutes ago, I received the bi-weekly career newsletter. So that has all the internship and job opportunities. It's like our own personal LinkedIn that we have and that we share with students on a bi-weekly basis as well. So students will be continuously getting updates into their inbox. It's just that students need to be vigilant and sort of, be a little bit proactive when they're looking for jobs as well. So of course, a lot of companies that I've already mentioned, these are a few more that we've had tie-ups with. We have industry visits too. A major part of our masters and our MBA programs, and of course, bachelor, it happens once a year, but mostly masters and MBA is what we call the business immersion week. I'm just going to show you that slide before I move on to this. Yeah. So this is Business Immersion Week. This is the banner for 2023. I'm going to put it on mute so that you can just watch it. But it involves a lot of activity regarding students' career, right from industrial visits to different companies, to 5 different countries companies at least, internships. Hello. I'm sorry, I think there's somebody that's not on mute. I'm gonna mute you. Okay, so yeah, so industry visits to different companies. We have CV cover letter workshops where we actually have, HR executives of different companies on campus. We also have the Learning from Leaders series where we have chairmen, CEOs of different companies on campus speaking with the students, connecting with them, networking with the students. Very importantly, networking is a major, major aspect. Connections to the Alumni Hub. The Alumni Hub is one of the strongest ways and strongest possibilities where a student can get a job. Recent graduates love helping out students. They've gone through their own struggles recently and they understand the struggles of current students, and that's why they're more eager to help out students. So yeah, the Alumni Hub is absolutely great. And then we also have the challenges. So the last challenge was with L'Oreal Paris, and the two students that won the challenge got a paid internship with the student. As you can see, our class sizes are very small, a maximum class size of 30 students. So students have enough of time to interact with the professors. And not only that, we can conduct a lot more practical activities, such as, presentations, case studies. We have, presentations as well. We have multiple choice question answer papers as well, which is a lot easier to conduct in a smaller classroom sizes compared to a larger one. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Business Immersion Week as well. We're jumping really into the bachelor's programs now. So the bachelor's program is a 3-year program with 6 semesters. We have about 8 different specializations at a bachelor's level. Students can start off with a normal bachelor's in business administration, which covers a little bit of every part of management. It's a 3-year program, and we have the Feb intake upcoming, June, August, and we have the October intake. Most students start off with a bachelor's of business administration. At the end of the first year, if they wish to change a specialization, let's say to leisure and tourism management, they can do so. We have that flexibility to change the programs. These bachelor programs are offered at all our campuses at this point in time. I'm not going to go through the other bachelor programs because some of them are closed, some of them are open. So just to make things simpler, I'm going to move just on the bachelors that we have over here with international relations. Sports management is a niche course. A lot of institutions don't offer it. So sports management, any student that's going for sports management will only apply to EU Business School. They won't even look at any other institution. Business finance, artificial intelligence for business, and digital communication. Just want to take you through the requirements. We require the students' high school mark sheets. Proof of English proficiency is mandatory. So it's only TOEFL or IELTS that we accept. We accept a TOEFL score of 80 overall. And then we also accept the IELTS score of 6 overall. 2 letters of recommendation, a written or video essay, and the admissions interview will be conducted by me. So in recent times, I've been coordinating with Join in Campus the moment we receive an application. Once we receive an application, I set a date and time for the interview. Students okay with it, we go ahead with the interview. Once the entire file is complete, we send it to the admissions department in the respective campuses. So either Barcelona, Munich, or Geneva. And then once it's processed, we get a response, whether it's positive or negative. So the turnaround time from the date of the admissions interview will be about 2 to 3 days. That's the turnaround time. Same goes to the master's program. The master's in the MBA program has a slight advantage over the bachelor program, and that is that the student has more time on hand. So the master's in the MBA programs will only happen in the evening, and that's going to be post 4 to 5 p.m. in the evening when they have their classes. So it gives the student enough time during the day if they want to work on their German assignments, part-time jobs. It gives students enough of time during the day. The master's is a specialization focused program where we have marketing, finance, tourism, innovation, entrepreneurship, digital business, fashion luxury business, digital marketing, business analytics and data science, and artificial intelligence for business. So these are the 10 different specializations. The program is subdivided into 2 courses related to the specialization, 2 project-based courses, and then we have the business immersion week. With the master's program, it's a bit more simpler. So you have students will have only 3 to 4 days of classes. And as I mentioned, it will only be in the evening for about 2 to 3 hours. We have the upcoming Jan intake, the March intake, and the October intake. For the MBA program, it's a bit more hectic, wherein students will still have their evening classes, but they will have all 5 days of the week. The MBA program has about 6 courses per semester, And you're looking at about of course, it's a 3-semester course that happens over a year and a half, approximately. And we have different specializations. So one semester is only dedicated to the specialization, which in this case could be international business, international marketing, global banking and finance, leisure and tourism management, on digital business and sports management. So these are the kind of specializations that we have. Again, same intakes. We have the Jan, March, and October. If I'm being very honest with you right now, most of the students that come in for a postgraduate degree are mostly going with the master program. One is because of the time frame and the more relaxed timetable. The second is the low tuition fees as well. I don't see any questions coming in the chat box, so either I'm being super clear or you all don't have any questions or you are not clear. So I hope it's not the last one, but if you all have questions, please put them into the chat box. Again, very simple admission requirements, bachelor degree and mark sheets. If the student is graduated in the last 1 year, a provisional mark sheet provisional degree will also work. We require, again, mandatory TOEFL or IELTS. We have reduced the requirements in terms of the minimum requirement would be 80 for TOEFL and 6 for IELTS, but that's the minimum requirement. Again, overall, we do not look at individual band scores. Copy of the CV, 2 letters of recommendation, an essay, and admissions interview. In terms of the MBA program, we actually do not require any work experience. So any fresher coming out of the MBA can also, coming out of the bachelor's can also apply for the MBA program as well. So yeah, so that's about the admission requirements. In terms of the tuition fee structure, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna tell you all the major figures. Maybe I can annotate it. Yeah, so for the master's, 15,600 is our tuition fee structure for the Munich and Barcelona campus. If a student starts in Jan, the total tuition fee will go up slightly because we have a change in the tuition fee structure. So you're looking at the 15,850 for the master's program for the entire year if they start in Jan. If they start in, if they start in March, then it will be 16,100 euros for the entire program. This is for the master's program only. So this is Jan, and this is for March. Excuse my handwriting. That's for March. And if you have the MBA program, again, you're looking at about 22,200. That's for the Jan intake, because we have a shift of the tuition fee structure. So we're looking at 2 tuition fee structures. This is why I'm giving you all the exact figures, so then later on students don't get confused. And if you're looking at the March intake, it will be 22,500 euros. Because from October 2025, we have an increase in the tuition fee structure. That is why we have these varying figures. That's for the MBA program. So this is MBA, and that's the master's program. I hope that's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna try and get rid of this. Yeah, okay. And the
So it
bachelor
is changed
program,
only for the Munich and the Barcelona campus, right? There is no change in the fees for Geneva campus.
there is for the Geneva campus, but I don't know it offhand.
Okay, fine. Whenever you are having
Yes,
the details, you can share us the revised sheet.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And 14,100 is for the whole year for bachelor's, which includes 2 semesters. So that remains the same. That is not changed. This changed in 2024 October itself. So it will not change until probably 2026 October. So yeah, you're looking at 14,100 per year, which includes 2 semesters. Okay, everyone's favorite part for sure is the scholarship options that we offer students. So we have 3 to 4 different scholarships that we offer. There's the merit-based scholarship for which we have slots available right now only for the March intake. So we're looking at least an 85% and above in bachelor's, along with an IELTS score of 7.0. This is for the master's or for the MBA scholarship essay and scholarship interview. For students applying for bachelor's, we require 80% in grade 12, 6.5 IELTS overall, scholarship essay and scholarship interview. So that's the merit-based scholarship for which we have a few slots available. The ambassador scholarship is 2,000 euros off from the entire tuition fee structure. We're looking at least a 60 to 65% and above in either the bachelor's or the high school degree, depending on which program the student's applying for. IELTS scores remain the same, 6.5 for bachelor's, 7 for master's, MBA, scholarship essay, and Skype interview. So there will be a double interview process for both these scholarships, one interview with me and one interview with the scholarship committee. Now, of course, when you compare the ambassador scholarship to the early bird discount, it is not that, it's not that attractive, because for the early bird discount, you're really looking at an approximate tuition fee cost of about 2,377 at a master's level and approximately about 3,000 euros at an MBA level. So that's what we have. The early bird is a 15% off on the entire program tuition fee for masters and for MBA. Just give me a second, why is this not working? Oops. Yeah. There we go. So the 15% off is for until the 31st of October for the Jan 2025 intake. So we're really nearing it. This is not going to be increased. So please try and put in all the Jan applications as soon as possible. If not, we always have March as a redemption. It's only 2 months away, and we have 30th November as the deadline for the 15% early bird discount for the March 2025 intake. If the students miss all these discounts, then we always have the tuition fee being paid upfront. So the program tuition fee will be paid upfront before the start of the semester in order for a student to get 7% discount. Of course, these scholarships and discounts cannot be clubbed together. They are individual, and they will have to apply for them. 1 out of the 4 will have to be applied for. You cannot apply for more than 1 scholarship or discount at a time. So yeah, alumni network has grown. We've got over 33,000 alumni, and I would like to thank you for your time, but I'm happy to take up questions. Any visa related question, please go ahead and ask me. A lot of us students are going ahead with the payment where they make the deposit and the first semester tuition fee, which is a lot better, because the early bird discount only depends on 2 factors. One is applying on time and one is starting on time. We do not have the early bird discount pegged to the fact that you need to pay the full year tuition fee upfront. So that's not how our early bird discount works. It only works based on deposit payment and starting on time in the intake that the student has committed to. So we're going to take a few questions now. If a student with a diploma after the 10th is eligible? Unfortunately, no. The student with a 3-year diploma after the 10th grade is eligible for a bachelor's program, not a master's or MBA. I hope that answers your question. Academic, the minimum percentage for all programs would be 50% minimum. If the student has had 50% or let's say 49% and has 3 years of work experience, that is also acceptable. But if it's straight out of bachelor's and then directly into master's MBA, then 50% is the cutoff. If they have work experience, we can definitely consider the application. Can the student from Nepal with 3 years bachelor's in the relevant field, is he eligible for the master's program? Yes, the student is eligible for the master's program if they've completed a 3-year bachelor program. But do remember, from Nepal, a lot of students don't want to apply for the blocked account. I've not really seen a student go to Nepal for the Munich campus, but if a student is interested, definitely bring it through. They will have to fly down to New Delhi for their visa appointment, on the other hand, for Munich specifically. Okay. Is 3 years degree get 1 year course? I don't really understand that question, but if you're basically trying to say that a 3-year bachelor degree will get you get you into a 1-year master's program or a 1-year MBA program, yes, that's absolutely possible. I think that's what I'm understood from your question.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good
Shanice, I
afternoon.
wanted to know,
Yeah, please go ahead.
I wanted to know that can you confirm, is there any age limit to apply for Bachelor of Maths students?
Not really. For bachelor students, we've had see mostly students come 18 to 21. That's the age limit. Sometimes they even start their program at 2021 for bachelors. That's absolutely understandable. For MBA or masters, we've see the older you get, I think the more better it is for students to have more luck with the MBA as compared to masters. So let's say if a student is between the age of 21 to about 32, 33, the masters is fine. But if they go past that 35 age limit to about 35 to about 50, mostly students apply for an MBA program because they have so much of work experience.
Right.
So yes, at the age limit, we've got visa approvals with the age of 49, 50 as well, but the student has had to be above, the student has had to have to choose the MBA program over the master's program.
Fine. No, not really. Thank you.
Thank you. Test AS is not required for the bachelor's program. The student can apply for the APS also without the test AS. And yeah, what was the next part of the question? Student can get yes, after completing the 12th program, the student can get admission directly into the 3-year bachelor program. That's absolutely possible. Any visa related questions? Because I feel like sometimes a lot of people have visa related questions because we're a Spanish degree being provided in Munich. A lot of students have questions. A lot of y'all might have questions about the procedures. But if you're okay with it, I'm happy to let go of it. But if you'll have any visa related questions as well, happy to answer them. NIOS boards and distance learning are both accepted with us. Again, 12 years of education for bachelor's and 15 years of education for master's or MBA. Sorry, I had somebody unmute and say something.
Hello.
Hi.
Is it audible now? Okay.
Yes, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
I wanted to confirm about the insurance because one of my students has a.
Sorry, I lost you over there.
Oh, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Am I audible, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I wanted insurance for specifically for the Spain campus because I came to know that they are not accepting Indian insurance like Tata AIG.
No, you need to have a confirmed insurance from a company called Sanitas. So once the student is ready to apply for the visa, we provide you with a pamphlet. I can show it to you right now, actually, for Spain. But we have the pamphlet for Sanitas, and students just have to email them, and then yeah, it's good to go.
All right.
Share it with you 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Shanice, we can now see.
Okay, so it's Sanitas, and we basically give you this brochure for Sanitas for the student to apply for Spanish health insurance. And you have contact people who you can email and ask as to how to go through this process as well. I hope that was clear. I think Nivya asked the question.
Yeah, she's having a few more questions. She's writing in the chat box.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so I have a question regarding the Munich campus and where students can apply through. Again, it really depends. I think if I may address you as Bashir, your question is really good, but it really depends on where the student is applying through. As we all know, India for the Munich High Commission is divided into about 5 zones. You have the Hyderabad Chennai zone, you have the Maharashtra zone, which is Mumbai, you have the Delhi zone, and then you also have the Kolkata zone. Okay, so let's break it up, right? So if it's New Delhi and if it's Mumbai, any zone corresponding to these two cities. So basically, if a student is from Gujarat, they have to come down to Mumbai and the Mumbai consulate only. A student from Rajasthan would have to go to the New Delhi embassy only. They cannot go to the VFS offices and apply with the APS. So it would either be Mumbai consulate without the APS or the New Delhi embassy without the APS. That's clear. Then we have the other regions. So for Bangalore, I forgot about Bangalore. Bangalore, so if you have a student from Cochin, a student from Cochin can apply for the APS and go through the VFS in Cochin or the VFS in Bangalore. That's absolutely possible. They can also apply without the APS at the Bangalore consulate directly, but right now appointments are a bit iffy without the APS. So that's a slight concern for me. So I'd rather students coming from that region. So Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Tamil Nadu is Chennai. So Karnataka and Kerala apply for the APS. Even with the Tamil Nadu and the Andhra region, students can apply for the APS and go directly through the VFS. Again, with Chennai, it's a bit iffy as to how appointments open out. So for the regions of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala, I would strongly advise these 4 zones to go in for the APS. For the Kolkata region, you can go without the APS to the Kolkata consulate directly. There are appointments available and they're accepting it. So I hope that was clear for you all, because there is a lot of confusion as well. Yes, Nivya, that's what I'm talking about. So the students are, according to the new rules, that is only the new rules are only applied to Mumbai and New Delhi. It's basically because Mumbai and New Delhi have the capacity, the consulate and the embassy have the capacity to take in so many students. Bangalore has only 3 desks at the consulate. So they don't have the capacity to say, we're closing appointments and we're only accepting students without the APS. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. So for that, they have to go for the embassy, right?
Again with zone. So New Delhi and Mumbai.
For New Delhi.
New Delhi is without APS, Mumbai is without APS, Bangalore, Cochin, Kerala, all these regions are with the APS. Hyderabad, so basically Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. This is with APS, and the rest can be without APS.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. The category is, yes, the category at the Mumbai and the New Delhi consulate is student educational facility awarding the non-German degree without the APS certificate, not with the APS certificate, Ajay. Let me just go up. There were some more questions. So Bashir, I hope I answered your question. Nivya, I don't know what do you mean by this process for the Spain campus?
Shanice's document verification process.
Okay, let me get back to the Spain campus in a minute. I'm just going to answer the German questions first.
Yeah,
to put tuition fees in a German bank is any charges. So basically, the tuition fees will go to the German bank, like our institution's bank, which is Deutsche Bank. So yeah, students will have to do what they call an RTGS, which is the through the forex department of any bank. They can go and they can deposit their fees. It's a lot cheaper as compared to doing it via Flywire. Flywire can be expensive. The conversion rate is expensive. Western Union, again, the conversion rate is expensive. So you rather go to the bank, go to the forex department and go through the RTGS. That's the cheapest way actually to do it. The charges are minimalistic through a lot of, state banks. It's like 30, 40 rupees for a transaction fee, but it's mostly the conversion rate on that day. The PPT will be shared with you. Deepa will help you with that. APS, again, is mandatory for certain regions, Vibhati. If it's, again, as I mentioned, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and Kerala. I'm sorry I'm repeating so many times, but those regions need the APS. The other regions can apply without the APS. Then I've answered all the questions. Can a student apply for masters if he has an overall of 6 IELTS? Yes. We do not look at individual band scores. So even if the individual band score is 5.5, that's fine. We need an overall of 6 for bachelor's, master's, and MBA. Minimum. And yes, coming back to you, Nivya, and the Spanish visa procedure. So as you rightly mentioned, the medical insurance needs to be from a Spanish company. So that would be Sanitas in this case. We require the, there are 3 documents: PCC, medical certificate, and birth certificate to be translated and apostilled. So that's another major point which students miss out on. We need the 3 months of a housing contract that the students need to show as part of their visa file as well. This could be through an Airbnb, it could be through a hotel. Um, Honestly, a lot of students do get it through various sources, but yeah, but it's required. The accommodation proof is required. And yeah, they need to have a very healthy bank balance. So if a student is going for the master's program, then they need to have at least about 23 lakhs as part of their educational loan. Let's say if they've paid 6 lakhs towards a tuition fee structure, then they need to show only about 17, 18 lakhs. That's fine. But that's another point. PCC, of course, takes about 4 weeks, and the police clearance certificate needs to be applied for through the passport office. It cannot be applied through, a local police, like a station or the main branch of a police station. No, it has to be applied through from the passport office itself. Otherwise, it's a null and void document. And the medical certificate can be taken from, there is a format, it can be found on the Spanish embassy website, and it can be taken to any physician as well. And of course, these 3 documents need to be translated and apostilled by a phone translator that is on the Spanish embassy website as well. So yeah, of course, getting an appointment is really easy. You can get an appointment either in Mumbai, again, depending upon jurisdiction, or in New Delhi. If a student is going through the New Delhi embassy, there is a 80% chance of a visa refusal. I have no reason why. They just have one standard reason, that the student is not serious enough to study in Barcelona. With Mumbai, however, we have had 100% visa success this October 2024. So with New Delhi, please be aware, if a student is, you think the file is not strong enough, I would really suggest going for Munich. It's a waste of time. It's too much of effort that we all put into the student's visa application specifically, and then it lands up into a visa refusal. So I'd rather recommend students to go for Munich if they're coming from the Delhi jurisdiction. Otherwise, if they're from the Mumbai jurisdiction, that's fine.
All right. And is there any living expense that you recommend? For an example, like we are recommending 10,000 euro. Is that enough, or do you
That's
think
fine.
that's fine, right?
That's fine. Along with the and then the tuition fee on top of that they need to show.
Yeah, it should be. All right. Thank you.
Now I come. Okay. Any other questions that I may help with? I know a lot of people have been waiting, but I would be happy to answer any questions from any of you all regarding EU Business School. Okay, Deepa, anything else?
Shanice, you answered about NEOS board and distance learning. Are they accepted or not?
Yes, I did answer that question. It is accepted. I did answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine, yeah. Maybe I have missed that.
No, it's okay. It's answered. Yeah. All the questions in the chat box, from what I can tell, have been answered. So Swapna asked, yeah.
No, go ahead, Shanice.
No, Swapna asked a question is, how challenging is the curriculum and can a student manage work and study? With the master's program, yes. With the bachelor's program, not so much. Bachelor's program, we have the program running throughout the day. So it can be classes like from 9 to 11 and then 12 to 3 again. So if a student is like, let's say, doing delivery service, working for a fast food joint, then they can, of course, work during the afternoon and the evening. That's absolutely fine. But with an MBA student, you have to be a little bit more diligent towards, the courses and the assignments. It's manageable, but like, let's say if a student has got a 50% in applying for an MBA, it might be a little challenging. So it really corresponds with how serious the student is and how dedicated they are in terms of their time. But a master's is definitely manageable. So I would say, even if a student can apply with a 50% for MBA, they shouldn't be. It will be difficult for them once they get onto campus to manage work and the study curriculum. I'd rather have them applying like with a 60% and above for the MBA, so that once they get onto campus, it becomes manageable. I hope, I mean, it's a vague answer and it's not, it's not an answer to the T, but you get it. It really corresponds with the student's profile itself. Yep. Ajay, you want to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Yeah, hi ma'am. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, I have a question regarding the VFS.
Mhm.
Actually, once we are checking on the appointment site, so my question is there is a choose of your subcategory.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
if a student has APS and we are looking for the Bangalore VFS, so that time can I take the subcategory as an education facility awarding non-German degree?
So yes, you can, but
Okay.
be aware that the waiting list for the without basically the non-APS category is a lot longer as compared to with the APS at the VFS office. So
Okay. Okay.
basically, as you know, APS corresponds to VFS office and non-APS corresponds to the consulate.
Yes,
So
yes,
a
yes,
lot of the
exactly.
times, what happens is if you're going through the non-German, if you're going with the APS, you'd rather go through the VFS because there are more appointments available over there. Hello,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
it's
clear?
this man. Yeah, like I'm saying that is there any problem like in the processing time? Like if we are moving with the non-German degree,
No, processing time remains the same.
same.
However, the time frame to get a visa appointment is a lot slower with the non-APS category in Bangalore. So let's say, for example, if can you see my screen?
Yes,
So Bangalore Council General of Germany is basically non-APS, as we all know. So you're going student, so they don't have the student option as you can see over here. No, it's one second.
visa.
They don't have the student category at the consulate anymore. So they only have the visa application center, as you can see, where a student can apply for a student visa.
Yes,
So that's with the APS certificate. They also have, so this is okay. So the German, so the VFS also has the educational facility awarding non-German degrees. But see, there are slots available now.
yes, yes, yes.
So yes, you can go through this category for sure.
Okay, so okay, fine.
So it depends on where the slots are open.
Yeah, yesterday also I just cross-checked with some, so
Yeah,
the date is available, so that's why I asked that.
the dates are available. That's right.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, with Mumbai, I'll just show you. With Mumbai, there are no dates available. It's quite bad with Mumbai because you don't have dates available. It's not available. With Delhi also, it's quite bad. Yeah. Again, no dates available. There's a waiting list for everything. Okay, just moving on to the next question. From Ahmedabad, no APS required, no Hetal, no APS required. You can go directly to the Mumbai consulate without the APS. As I just showed you, you can put your students down the waiting list. What is non-German degree? So this degree is basically approved by the Bavarian Ministry of Education, but it is not German. It is Spanish for us. So a student is still getting a European degree, which is approved by the German authorities. The student has the same rights as any other German student, which means that they get their part-time job 20 hours per week during the summer, 40 hours per week. The student travel card at 30 euros per month for across German travel, and they get the 18 months job seekers visa. So students do have the same liberties and privileges as any other German student, even though their degree is from Spain and not from Germany. Another thing is if your students are keen on Jan or March, I would say create a VFS account for them, make them aware that this account has been created. and put them on the waiting list. Because by the time, even if a student is applying for a loan and that loan takes 1.5 months to process, it will still be less time for a visa appointment to come through, at least with Mumbai and New Delhi. So it is my humble request to start on this process as soon as possible. If you don't want to do it as early as that, wait for the offer letter and then immediately open up a VFS account for the student. Because otherwise, it will get too late for the students to apply. Prashant, you have a very good question about the APS for Nepal students. But if I'm being very honest, I have passed on the Nepal market to another colleague of mine. I am not extremely sure about the requirement for the APS, but I don't think it's required because I think you can go through the New Delhi embassy without the APS and apply for the visa, so that's fine.
Shanice, I think like we can end the session now, and thanks a lot for answering all the queries of all the agents. And if they are
No
having
problem.
any further queries, they can always rejoin in campus. Their point
For
of
sure.
contact. Yeah,
And yeah, you can always forward the queries on to me as well if you
sure,
can't,
sure.
if it's a complicated question. Um, just one last question, that if it's a non-German degree, so it's Spanish accredited? No, it's coming from Spain, from the University of UCAM, as I mentioned during my presentation, but it is approved and verified by the Bavarian Ministry of Education in Germany. So yeah, so you don't have to worry about anything. Plus, we have 3 accreditations, which is the ACBSP, which is American, ICBE, and the Aquasiman, which is also European. So yeah, the student has nothing to worry about in terms of that. But thank you so much for your time and for your presence today. I'm glad Joining Campus could organize this session. Since I missed one, which happened at the end of September, I was really upset about it. But for personal reasons, I couldn't attend it. So I'm glad you all could all join in today.
Yes.
And for everyone celebrating Diwali at the end of the month, a very happy Diwali in advance to all of you.
Same to you, Shanice, and your
Yeah,
team. Thanks a
thank
lot.
you so
And like we
much.
will be waiting for the presentations, if you can just share with
For
us.
sure,
And
I'll do
even if you
that.
are having any material related to the Spain and the Geneva campus, we will be
I
waiting for
will,
the same.
yeah, I'll send you the flyers of the 3 campuses. I think it's nice to just have a concised flyer, which you can
Right.
print out, has
Hmm.
consultants, you can just print out and hand it off to students or just send it to them via WhatsApp. It helps.
Yeah.
We'll
So
do
we will
that
be just be waiting for the material and all. And again, wish you a very happy Diwali.
in advance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
in
care.
advance. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Shanice.
Thank you. Bye-bye.